Today, I would like to talk about pTracker for ZOS or MVS and Software Asset Management, abbreviated SAM. Software asset management is the business practice that involves managing and optimizing purchase, deployment, maintenance, utilization, and disposal of software applications within an organization. Others define it as all of the infrastructure and processes necessary for the effective management and control of the software assets throughout all stages of their life cycle. In this sense, pTracker doesn't stand for Software Asset Management, or SAM, itself, but for the provision and delivery of reliable data. SAM requires reliable data to objectify the ongoing decisions to be made, such as when upgrades are due, when maintenance and rentals are to be renewed, when investments for further software improvements are necessary, or when redundant solutions need consolidations, to name but a few. pTracker is the ideal ZOS or MVS tool to provide this information. To clearly answer the usual questions associated with software asset management like, what's installed? Who's using it? How often? Where? When? And this all at minimal cost. How important is review and control of mainframe software? Well, this sounds like a rhetorical question. Software is in respect to the balance sheet a fixed asset. Its value depends on how much it contributes to the success of the enterprise. Hence, the importance is clear. For example, the financial industry. They do not have any other means of production other than IT. And software is or perhaps the largest chunk of it. Simply, how can we assess the value of the software, as long as we do not even know how it's deployed or used? Let's look at some savings that can be gained using the information pTracker offers. Once upon a time, a software has been purchased and used. However, today is no longer required and sits unused. It takes up space in our system, so please get rid of it. The real low-hanging fruit or easy savings are those software where the procurement or renewal manager can show the business units that software is rarely, if ever, used, and they either need to cancel it or educate their workforce in the use of the software. Hence, the disuse is the point here. Software we pay for, but derives no benefit. And there is also, in a manner, the opposite. It is not uncommon that software runs on the wrong machine. Disaster recovery tests and other system modifications move applications around. The way back is sometimes forgotten. This means we use software on machines, or LPARs, where we have no license for. If detected during a vendor or external audit, software installed on machines where it is not licensed on could become a big headache. The biggest fear, non-compliance with license agreements. In case of unlicensed software, which may be running inadvertently on the wrong LPAR, we need to stop its use immediately. That's at least better than having to pay high additional fees. Not only licensed software is relevant to asset management, in-house software is also expensive. Internally built systems require ongoing maintenance and enhancement. Are these expenses still justified? How is the trend in usage? Growing or is it decreasing? Usage reports might help answer such a question. Another topic associated with in-house maintained software is something we like to call dead wood. With in-house software, it is estimated that product libraries increase by 5% of the defunct software modules each year, due to the fact that they must allow for back-out processes. Be careful, don't delete, rename. That means after 5 years, approximately 28% of the modules in a library are no longer being used, and yet they are still contracted for maintenance by in-house or outsourced staff. pTracker identifies unused modules, and so we are able to cut out dead wood. When talking to developers, maintainers, or development managers, one often hears that there is uncertainty about what is the currently used model. From code, several look similar. Which is the right one? Which is really used? By what user groups? Usage recordings can tell. Vendors like to offer product packages or bundles. They claim to use this way to give significant discount. How can you really verify this without meaningful usage reports? Be careful with some vendors, as they create special discounts based on the number of products licensed with them. So it comes across cheaper in license fees to have 5 products installed than to have only 4 products. Consider usage reports to verify if this is really a bargain. Decommission of software means more than deletion of the libraries. In fact, this is probably the very last action. Are there still users? When? Why? Are there alternatives? Is retraining for the replacement required? Can licenses be canceled? There is a lot to check before we are ready for deletion. pTracker reports comprehensively if the application is still installed, already uninstalled or deleted, installed but not used, still used, by whom, how often, on which system or LPAR. Redundancy. If we have been involved in mergers or acquisitions, there may be areas where we have 2 or even more products licensed that can do the same work, be it in the areas of scheduling, storage management, or database utilities. Which one should remain and which one should be abolished? Well, usage pattern could ease the decision here. Upgrade. Renewal is due. License period expires. Vendor expects increase of fees because of the higher CPU capacity in MIPS or MSUs. But let's assume the CPU upgrade was only required due to sufficient support of the core application, the in-house application, on that particular LPAR. Other apps running on the same LPAR don't really benefit from the CPU upgrade. Hence, higher fees are not justified. How can we objectify the debate? Clear reports on the usage development over the last license period are indeed helpful. And if the vendor is not perceptive and rejects all proposals, we already have the affected user group determined, and we can discuss alternatives with them. We may offer training and guidance on handling of alternative tools. This slide summarizes the topic. It depicts some applications in respect of usage and cost. Costs increase to the right, usage upwards. Below the brown line are the seldom used products. More on the right, the expensive ones. We could easily come up with the idea to eliminate everything that is expensive, hence far to the right and seldom used. That is below the brown line. But please, pay attention. It is important to remember that something that's rarely used can be kind of like a fire extinguisher. For example, a disaster recovery tool, or a table undelete or similar. Therefore, always consult your product owner before you take action. Here we end our general discussion on pTracker and software asset management. There are also videos on the topic, how does pTracker work, and how can pTracker output be used and further processed. You're invited to view these also. Thank you for listening.